Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my mini-series of the art of buying and selling precious metals. Now, this episode is probably maybe one of the most important things to grasp. And until you grasp this idea in itself, then you will really struggle to make money because you make money on the buy side and not the sell side. Now, lesson 2 is the notion of price spectrum. I should do this, is actually a dry marker, I shouldn't be using this. Let's go back to the black pen. Now, you may be wondering what the price spectrum is. It's very simple, it's pretty much what it says. So you've got a line, and this changes every day. So let's call this spot. And it's also important, this is connected to your Weber connections. Now, the price spectrum, let's say this is the top price, this is the bottom price. And it's very simple economics, really. So when buying, you want to buy preferably in this chunk. There'll be more sellers here. Less sellers. Now the problem with buying at the bottom end of the price spectrum is that you'll run out of customers. So in this section, roughly, like you are dealing with sellers that are distressed, and they're not the type of people that you will deal with consistently. You will run out of customers before you can ever make a consistent return. So these are your cash for gold buyers. I don't particularly like these people. I have a conscience, and it's not something that I will look at doing. There's no reason why you can't pay someone a fair amount, say 98% of spot. So say that's 98%. Like that's okay. I've seen some people pay say that's 90% of spot. That's not okay. I think in the day of the internet, you shouldn't be telling someone who's desperate that their gold or silver is worth 90% of what the current spot price is. Now, this price here is where you want to position yourself. Now, different dealers are different individuals. So you've got your private individuals here. Everyone wants to maximize their return. So they set the price here. This is for the individuals. You have dealers all the way down here. So, for example, I won't mention names, but a very well-known dealer on the UK scene, he's probably around here. So let's call him dealer 1. Let's call this guy dealer 2. I'm going to put myself here. So I usually buy from, so I'll try and buy, especially in gold, so I'll try and buy here. So buy, sell. That's my goal. All I want to do is I want to make this small amount, so it's maybe a couple, 4, 5, 6%. Say this is gold, and in silver I want to make slightly more. So with silver I'm probably further along because I'm capped on the VAT. Now, when you get to the top price, there's going to be more sellers, but less buyers. So it's the opposite effect to the first side of it. So more sellers, less buyers. This is a very simple explanation of the price spectrum. Now let's give you examples of why this is important. So let's talk about gold. Now, yeah, sorry about that. I should have got a ruler really. What it is, I was going to use one of my examples and I kind of bumped into it, which is, let's pretend that didn't happen and it's a straight line, or a semi-straight line anyway. So with gold, the market is super competitive. So this may be 0% a spot. Spot, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, minus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to have few occasions to buy at this point. You know, you're going to have more at this point, more at this point, more at this point, you know, and this is where I buy. So 0.5. And then the further along you go, so 3.5 tends to be the average. 3.5. This is what most people can buy at. So this is the general public. Because I buy here, all I have to do is the price here. So this is my segment. I know that anywhere, actually it should be a box, anywhere between this point here, I can sell. The cheaper I price it, so if I price it at 0.5% profit, I will sell a lot and some. The more expensive I get, the less I sell. I could probably price it at 5% and I would sell some, depending on the quality. So for example, if I had a couple of these, which are very nice, 1979s, they probably would sell for spot plus 5. They're in that good condition. Now, that's for gold. So the markup is really small, and this is for bullion as well. So with silver bullion, it's exactly the same. So 0%, let's say minus 5, minus 10, minus 15, minus 20. Some people can pick it up for that, it's crazy. Again, there'll be less for it, say 5% markup, 10% markup, 15, 20. So I'm typically paying more. I can't tell you how much I pay, I'm not entirely sure, I haven't worked it out thus far. But let's say I'm paying 10%. I want to make 10% on silver. At that, I can come in under the VAT. As long as I don't take the biscuit and go over the VAT threshold, I can make an easy 10%. But the reason I have to do that is due to negotiation. The reason I can do that, sorry, is due to negotiation. So this is where I'm positioned. If I want a fast sale, so this is fire sale. Fire sale territory. I don't want to be here, and I'll explain in one of the later tutorials why I sometimes end up here, and it's the same with gold. So these are fire sale areas, and it's not where you want to be. You want to be making money on the price spectrum, but sometimes it is what it is. So these are for bullion. The numbers are quite close for bullion. Now, let's look at price spectrum number 2. Again, I'm using the wrong pen. I'm going to ruin this pen. So let's go for gold. If you're looking at semi-NUMI, an example of that would be so this is a Temp Tiger, semi-NUMI gold coin. So again, you got the price spectrum. This is the middle point, 0%. So probably minus 5, minus 10. You're not really gonna get it for these. So let's put a cross through there. Let's say 10, 20, 30, 40%. Now, one of the reasons I can make my money is because I realise that the price spectrum itself doesn't really coincide with the spot price. So if I can pick up a coin like this at spot plus 5%, so 5%, that's me. All I have to do is I have to look at the market price and see what the market is charging. So I will look up my main sources, so maybe eBay. I got the German dealers, so gold.de is very good to look at. That is a site that compares and contrasts all the German dealers. I will look at the UK dealers and see who has what. I'll also speak to various guys abroad to see if I can have an arbitrage play. So all I have to do is I will be presented with an opportunity such as these, and they say, hey Sean, it's spot plus 5. And I have to go by the consensus, not the spot price. So the price consensus is this. Price consensus. If I can beat the price consensus and still make a markup, so say the price consensus is spot plus 40, which in this exact coin it probably was higher than that when I first started buying these coins in. Something happened and the market got flooded, but let's say spot plus 40 and I paid spot plus 5. This is my markup. By using the price spectrum, I can make more money on a collector's coin or a semi-numi coin than I can on a bullion coin. But this comes down to, if you remember in the first video, this comes down to your Weber connections. Now let's look at silver semi-numi. Again, you have the elongated. You can probably get it slightly more because the market is not as competitive. -5, -10. It's feasible. You're probably going to get none at this point. So let's say you're buying here. Like I want to be buying, say, spot plus 5, spot plus 10. So 5, 10, let's go 20, 30, 40. Now I know a perfect example of this, again, is a coin I used in last video. It's the mouse. Half-ounce mouse sometimes goes for £100. You know, that's spot plus 200, I think. So I want to be paying, say, spot plus 50 or spot plus 40 to, and that's my markup here. So my markup is whatever it is. Now I want to be making X amount. Now the higher the risk of the play that I'm buying into, the higher reward I expect to make in return. So the reason I do it that way is, say I buy a high risk at spot plus 50% and I want to sell for spot plus 100. If I can't do that, I might have to drop to a spot plus 75%. I can slash it down until it sells. So this is section 2. It's rather long-winded, but the price spectrum it's very important. It's not the spot price that matters. It's an amalgamation of prices in the marketplace, and you want to be buying on this side, that's for sure. Maybe there, you know. And you want to be selling, so sell, buy. So this is part 2 of my mini series. I think the next part it follows up, and I will probably talk to you about tactics for buying and selling, and also being a price giver versus a price taker. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you like it, then subscribe. Please share it. I think it's valuable for people to know, and take care, guys.